Coming up tonight on Middle Tennessee News, as our Mid-State community continues to support the Covenant School in Nashville, they are on their way to rebuild after the tragedy and return to school.
And one of our MTN reporters got an inside look on the LGBT College Conference. All those stories plus your local weather and sports. Middle Tennessee News starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Kara Fullington.
And I'm Sarah Oppman. Welcome to Middle Tennessee News.
Franklin police are investigating a car crash near Harpeth River. 28-year-old Zachary Riggs lost control of his vehicle just after midnight on Saturday. Police say that Riggs was traveling east on Bridge Street at First Avenue when his car ran off the road. He went through a guardrail, struck a utility pole, and landed in the Harpeth River. Officers and firefighters were able to free Riggs, but he was later pronounced deceased at the hospital. Lieutenant Charlie Warner of the Franklin Police Station released a statement offering condolences to the family. The crash is still under investigation.
A pastor in Williamson County has been charged with 6 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. The Williamson County Sheriff's Office began the investigation into 50-year-old Daryl Hayes after a tip was received by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Hayes was using church internet connection to upload videos of child sexual abuse. The pastor was immediately dismissed by Barry's Chapel Church of Christ, where he was employed. It is reported that nobody in Hayes' life knew of his activities.
Heroin, drugs, and a loaded gun were found after a 2-month investigation in Lebanon, Tennessee. The Lebanon Narcotics Unit began an investigation back in February into Tylisha Weir and Bonnie Bender. The two were involved in an illegal narcotics operation in Wilson County. Investigators were able to obtain a signed search warrant for Weir and Bender's residency in their Rolling Wood apartment complex. As a result of the search warrant, investigators found over 2 ounces of heroin in a variety of different colors, fake prescription pills, drug paraphernalia, and a loaded handgun. Charges for both Weir and Bender are currently pending.
An officer in a police lawsuit dispels sexual misconduct claims as false. Finding of sexual misconduct rocked the Laverne Police Department earlier this year and has led to a federal lawsuit. Former officer Megan Hall sued the city, police chief, and 2 of her supervisors back in February. They have responded saying Hall's claims are false. Hall, 2 officers, and the police chief were fired after 2 separate investigations found that Hall engaged in sexual activity and shared intimate photos and videos with several male officers. The defendants are asking the federal judge to dismiss the lawsuits. A hearing for this lawsuit is scheduled for later this month.
A Tennessee state bill has been put on pause following the Covenant school shooting. A bill was proposed to arm teachers in Tennessee schools, but was pulled off of the calendar on Monday. A crowd gathered at the Capitol to oppose the bill. They were outraged as a House Majority Leader, Representative William Lamberth, attempted to end business after only 3 hours. The House of Republicans urged members to put the bill back on the calendar on Wednesday to no avail. The bill was yet to be put back on the calendar.
The Nashville community continues to support those victim to the deadly Covenant mass shooting as students and staff return to school. Students are not returning to Covenant to resume classes. Instead, they are holding classes at Brentwood Hills Church of Christ for the rest of the semester. When students and staff returned to school, they were welcomed back with thousands of balloons embellishing the halls of the church. This work was done out of the kindness of a mother-daughter duo whose goal was to help make the students feel more at home. Mandy Robertson and Caitlin Watkins, hoped the balloons would help diminish the fear and anxiousness students had returning back to class.
A new Tennessee bill regarding abortion is on Governor Bill Lee's desk. The bill looks to add narrow expectations to the current abortion laws in Tennessee to help the mother of the child. This bill was also removed affirmative defense for doctors. Tennessee's total abortion ban came last summer after the Dobbs decision caused Roe v. Wade to drop to the Supreme Court. During the early days of the abortion conversation, Lee had no intentions of changing the new law. If Governor Lee does not sign the new bill, legislation could come 10 days following. Lee could also veto the bill, sending it back to the board members. And now Ian Wills joins us with our first look at the weather.
It appears that spring is in full swing this week in the Middle Tennessee region. The highs today are reaching the low to mid 80s, with the highest being 84 degrees in Mount Juliet. Murfreesboro is 1 degree below that with a high of 83, and McMinnville, Woodbury, and Shelbyville are all sitting at a warm 82 degrees. Lastly, Manchester and Smithville are sitting at 81 degrees. Kira, back to you.
Thanks, Ian. I know I'm really enjoying this warmer weather outside. And still ahead on Middle Tennessee News, Danny Osborne brings us a report on an organization that is making moves on Middle Tennessee State University's campus. That's coming up next on Middle Tennessee News.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News, and today an MTN reporter, Bobby Schneider, was able to take a closer look at student-run program here at Middle Tennessee State University.
Since radio was invented, colleges have been a hotspot for radio communication.
I'll point out our Center for Media and...
It's been used to play music, entertain, cover current events, and much more. Right here at MTSU is WMTS. Throughout the course of many decades, one thing has remained constant. The students run the show.
Like 500 songs. You know, college radio has been such a big part of the music industry over the years, and I think that is really, really important to maintain for our students.
The radio station has given students along the way many new experiences and learning opportunities.
I've learned a lot personally by doing this, and
For students to do this, they'll get a lot of experience like running a club on their own, as well as learning how to run a radio station.
Over 30 years ago, students at MTSU came together to create a student-run radio station. Now it's the foundation for what we have here at MTSU today.
Yes, we're modernized now, and like we're trying to be, building stronger, with time, of course, but like it's always good to look back and see the people who started it and why they started it.
Student manager Kate Craighead hopes to keep seeing the station evolve in the future.
I'm Kate. I would love nothing more than after I leave here just for the station to keep growing and keep getting better. Like I said, people love to say that radio's dying, but that is just so false and so untrue.
In Murfreesboro, Bobby Schneider, Middle Tennessee News.
Thank you, Bobby, and we look forward to seeing the program grow more down the road.
Special election dates have been set for expelled lawmakers. The primaries will be on June 15th and the election will be held on August 3rd. Representative Justin Jones and Justin Pearson need to be re-elected to fully retain their House positions. These two were expelled from their seats in the House last month due to violating House rules by joining the gun protest during a session on the House floor. Only Pearson and Jones were expelled, but both were reappointed to their seats days later by their respective city officials. Both have said they intend to run again.
Middle Tennessee State University integrates the concept of quantum science into the Department of Physics and Astronomy. Dr. Hannah Terleska, a quantum physics expert, wanted to give students an opportunity to new careers that deals with science and technology by incorporating the expansion of quantum physics. By making this happen for any student, she has teamed up with Dr. Ron Henderson and Dr. Greg Van Patten to partner with other local community colleges so that others can have the chance as well. For more details, go to mtsu.edu/quantum. Reporter Danny Osborne got an inside look at MT Lambda's LGBT College Conference this past weekend.
MT Lambda, an LGBT student organization at Middle Tennessee State University, hosted the LGBT College Conference.
Really, we're just a social group. We do some activism. We do just like social support for our members.
Overall, Lambda just wants to have an environment where everyone feels welcome to come together and be who they are.
The event went from Thursday, April 13th to Saturday, April 15th, with tons of activities such as a film festival, live music, guest speakers, and even a lavender graduation ceremony. People came from all over the state and from different countries to come to the college conference. The theme of the event was all identities pulling together, and it was a celebration for anyone, no matter their sexuality, gender, or race. With a recent ban on all forms of gender-affirming care for transgender people under the age of 18 in the state of Tennessee, the conference discussed ways to change this. The conference also held an award ceremony and dinner to end the event, shining some light on some LGBT individuals throughout the state of Tennessee.
To MTSU and to the Conference Advisory Board for this humongous honor.
The LGBT College Conference drew in a huge crowd and helped fundraise for many different LGBT organizations in Tennessee. From Murfreesboro, Danny Osborne, Middle Tennessee News.
For more information on MT Lambda, you can find them on Instagram at MT Lambda.
And now Ian is back with tonight's forecast. What do you have for us?
Expect tonight to be a bit chilly as our lows are getting in the mid-50s throughout the region. After relatively clear skies throughout the day, expect the night to be a bit cloudy in Mount Juliet, Woodbury, Shelbyville, and Smithville. Murfreesboro, McMinnville, and Woodbury are all sitting at a nice 56 degrees tonight, while Manchester and Mount Juliet are sitting at 55 degrees. Smithville will be the coolest temperature with the low at 53. After the break, I'll have your full forecast. Back to you.
Thanks, Ian. And after the break, he will be back with our full 5-day forecast. And Matthew Hayden is over in the MTN Sports Den with our midweek sports report. Stick around.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin. But I'm gonna drive home. There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News. And now Ian joins us with our full 5-day forecast, leading us into the weekend.
Today will be the second warmest day of the week with a high of 83 and a low of 56 degrees. However, tomorrow will be a bit high with a 85 and low of 63 degrees with sunny skies. So break out your summer wardrobe for some fun in the sun. If you're looking for something to do between classes, MTSU is hosting a connection point in the Student Union Commons tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., so be on the lookout for the chalk art contest. Pre-registration instructions are available on the MTSU website. The weekend will be cooler with Friday's high being a drastic change from Thursday with a high of 76 and a low of 49. Saturday will be rainy with a high of 66 and a low of 40. So remember your raincoats. Sunday will be beautiful and a bit breezy with the high dropping to a cooler 66 and a low of an even colder 38. Back to you.
Thanks, Ian. When we come back, Matthew Hayden is over in the MTN Sports Den, where he will have your full sports report leading us into the weekend. Stick around.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin. But I'm gonna drive home. There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back. We have a couple tournaments coming up and teams closing in on the end of the regular season. Let's get things started and head down to the ballpark. The Blue Raiders welcomed the Lipscomb Bisons to Reese Smith Jr. Field on Tuesday. The Bisons came out swinging with 4 runs in the first inning and never looked back. Lipscomb tallied 4 home runs on the night, accounting for 6 of their 11 runs for the night. MTC avoided getting shut out, plating a run in the 6th inning. MTSU looks to bounce back tonight in Nashville versus the Bisons at 6 p.m. The Raiders will then welcome the Rice Owls to Murfreesboro for a CUSA weekend series. If you can't make it to the ballpark this week, all games will be airing on ESPN+. MTSU softball looks to claim another in-state victory. After taking the 100 Miles of Hate series victory last weekend, the softball team looks to keeps the good times rolling. The Lady Raiders head to Nashville to face off the Tennessee State Tigers. MTSU enters the game rocking a 6-game winning streak versus the Tigers. A player to watch in the game tonight is none other than star shortstop Laura Mueller. Mueller leads the team with 9 long balls on the season and is building her case to be the MVP of the season. First pitch is set for 5 p.m. in Nashville. The team will then head down to the sunny city of Miami for a weekend series versus the FIU Panthers. Men's and women's tennis are gearing up for their final showdowns in Texas. Women's tennis is the 7th seed in the tournament, and they will be traveling to Denton, Texas. Their title chase starts tomorrow at noon in a 100 Miles of Hate rematch against the 10th-seeded Western Kentucky. Men's tennis is once again the number 1 seed in the tournament, and they will travel down to Houston, Texas this weekend. They will be looking for their 4th straight conference championship, and they will look to also log a spot in the NCAA tournament. You can catch the coverage of Middle Tennessee in the men's tennis tournament right here on MTN Sports. It all starts Saturday at noon. Speaking of men's tennis, last Friday was the last time 3 players are able to compete for the team. The Big Three have left their mark in the MTSU history books with all their achievements a country long, including 3 straight CUSA championships. I was able to catch up with each of them and learn their stories before they head to Texas this weekend. 2023 marks the end of a Big Three era in Murfreesboro. Stein Slump, Francisco Rocha, and Pavel Model will finish their MTSU career after the season ends. Their achievements run long, but they all have a special memory that they hold above all. The Court 1 star Stein Slump hit the ground running when he came to the States. The one that stands out is his 2022 CUSA Championship performance.
And the last one will be last year Conference USA Championship, finals, trio, clinching it on one singles. That felt really good being able to do that for the team.
The next man up is Francisco Rocha, a man off the court who has a smile that lights up the room. Cisco's favorite MTSU moment comes from freshman year 2018.
I mean, for me, it has to be my freshman year when we won the first conference. It was different because we were not favorites to win that year, and we were there on court 6 when Pavel clinched it, and it was crazy. That feeling that you like accomplish it, it was different.
Speaking of the captain, Pavel Model rounds out the big three of seniors. Being the duo with Stein for majority of their time at MTSU, Pav has been there with Stein and Cisco through it all. Pav's favorite moment is one he shares with fellow teammate Cisco, as it was him on the court for the clincher in 2019.
The first USA Championship that we won here at ATC on the home courts, in front of the home crowd.
In Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Matthew Hayden, Middle Tennessee News. It was great catching up with the Big Three, and we want to make sure to keep an eye out for our men's tennis team this weekend in Texas to cheer them on for a possible Fort Bee championship. And that's all that time we have here left for today, guys. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Matt. I know we'll be cheering on our men's and women's teams as they compete in Texas this weekend. And wrapping up our show tonight, we are saying a few goodbyes for our last newscast of the semester. MTSU has brought me so many opportunities along with Middle Tennessee News. I will forever be grateful for this amazing organization. To all my people on and off camera, we did it, and I can't imagine doing it with anyone else. A huge congratulations to all our seniors. We have 3 of our anchors graduating, myself, Sarah, and Mary Beth Mangrove. Also graduating is our producer and MTN mom, Ronnie Portson, and last but not least, our editing and tech guru, TJ Myers. None of this could happen without all of you guys, so congratulations and thank you, Middle Tennessee News.
I would say I never expected that when I joined MTN that 3 years ago that my life would change how it did. Through this organization, I've grown my passion for journalism in ways I couldn't imagine, from covering the news to tennis games to the Grammy Awards, red carpets, and music festivals. I'm so grateful for the whole team at MTN, and we will miss you very dearly. Well, thank you for joining us for our last show on Middle Tennessee News. If you missed this or any of our shows, you can watch them on our website, middletennesseenews.net.
And for the last time, make sure to keep an eye out for all Middle Tennessee News and MTN Sports productions over the summer. And don't forget to follow us on all our social media sites on Facebook /Middle Tennessee News or at Middle TN on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Natural disasters are a fact of life in the U.S. And between activities and school, chances are you won't be with your kids when they happen. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids can help your children feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio